Yeah, Alex Jones is really upset.
Oh, Candace Owens is too.
She thinks that Trump's being manipulated by deep state infiltrators.
That warms my heart.
Oh, another Dave Smith. Marco Rubio is a disaster. Might as well give Liz Cheney the State Department awful sign.
But you can be wrong literally every single day. You can be wrong every single day. And you will not get punished for it at all. I'm shocked.
That's a J-Dam. Rubio on a ceasefire in Gaza. Uh-oh. Let's see, Mr. Rubio.
Senator Rubio, will you call for
No, I'm not.
Senator Rubio.
Are you filming it?
Wait,
I want you guys to get this. I want them to destroy every element of Hamas they can get their hands on.
Jesus.
Full of vicious animals who did horrifying crimes. And I hope you guys post that because that's my position. I blame Hamas.
Every day.
Stop hiding behind civilians, putting civilians in the way. Hamas knew that this was going to lead to this. So Hamas has stopped building their military installations underneath hospitals.
So
underneath civilians.
15,000 have died. You don't care about the babies that are
I
being
care. I
killed
think it's
every day.
terrifying. I think it's
Yeah.
terrible. I think Hamas is 100% to blame. That's what I think. Make sure you post that, please.
Well, that's kind of what Bibi wants. He just wants to keep going, regardless of how little else there is to gain militarily. Fuck. It must be really living in a particular part of the world, knowing that your fate basically rests in the hands of the most, basically just on the last person who was licking Trump's ear and giving him a good idea.
Yep. Got to be pretty fucking horrible. That's crazy that Rubio in the State Department. Jesus. And wait, what was Huckabee? Is the Huckabee pick confirmed?
Yeah.
That's ambassador to Israel.
Mhm.
Do we have any other cabinet picks besides Rubio?
It's at the same time that Netanyahu's ambassador to the US is a fucking Kahanist. So, big trouble. Okay, let's see. Trump cabinet picks. He's picking at breakneck speeds compared to 2016.
Because he's picked one person?
Well, there must be more, right? Mike Waltz to serve as National Security Advisor. Do you know who that is? He's announced six picks. He's a Floridian.
Wait, he's picked like 5.
It says 6 here on Fox. U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, Elise Stefanik. Wait, what the f? It's not Russian. It's not Russian.
It's not like nice to do. And if you were morally a better person than me, you wouldn't do it. Because we're basically like using human shield, or I guess they're kind of using human shields through their stupid political beliefs. But imagine if you're some f***ing dipshit fake Arab living in Dearborn or whatever, and you're like, yes, finally, we voted away the genocide. And you see f***ing Marco Rubio as a State Department head, and fucking Huckabee is the U.S. ambassador to Israel.
Well, did you see the advertising that Elon Musk, I think it was Musk, was pushing around Dearborn or the Trump campaign in general?
What, the contradictory ads on both sides or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I heard about it, yeah.
That feels bad.
Well,
you know what really sucks, Destiny, about the thing you were saying about these Republicans, like early on, 2022, they were all on the House floor, like arguing in favor of Ukraine. What really sucks is I went back and I was listening to some of these speeches. I was listening to Ted Cruz and these other guys, and they're all referencing the Budapest Memorandum. They're all referencing like some decent in-depth history about this. And so it's not like these people don't know the facts. It's just it's no longer politically convenient. I know a few lobbyists on the Hill that talk to Republican congressmen who are really in favor of Ukraine because it's in favor of their like strong foreign policy beliefs. They're strong Euro-Atlantists, and they're legitimately voting against Ukraine aid or won't come out and vote verbally in support of Ukraine aid because they just know office is going to get harassed and it's not in vogue right now.
yep. I mean, your only like saving grace or the only like positive thing you could think of maybe is that Trump's opinions on everything can literally change with the wind. He doesn't have a principled stance one way or another on Ukraine, so that could be really bad, could be really good. Maybe Putin says something that pisses him off. Maybe the right person talks to him and is like, don't you want your legacy to be America kicking Russia's ass again? Like,
The most lethal military? Yeah.
somebody needs to fucking hack Trump's Netflix or whatever and just start playing, is it Rocky 4? Like over and over and over and over again. And maybe he'll watch that shit and be like, holy fuck, what am I doing? We gotta fucking get these guys.
Absolutely. Actually, the main argument I hear from those who wanted Trump to win in Ukraine is the idea that Zelensky would go to him and he'd make some proposal like, "Hey, look, we'll offer you these natural resources and we'll stack these bases in Europe." And look, the idea is that Zelensky would go in there as like a deal maker, willing to offer up stuff that Biden wasn't interested in, but then Trump could sell it as, "Look at this, he's able to pivot from Asia. I mean, pivot from Europe, and Ukraine takes up the responsibility." But it's all a giant gamble. There's no like surefire way to guess what Trump's going to do. And if Trump agrees to something, he could back out of it like a week later, like he did with Syria.
Or, yeah, and Zelensky would need something to offer because you have to play into Trump's strengths. Like that military base thing is one thing, but if like Zelensky were to say like tomorrow we're going to start planting fields of French fries to bring down the costs of like cheeseburger meals at McDonald's, and maybe Trump would actually go for that. Like he has.
Maybe. I mean, hey, Ukraine's 25% of the world's wheat supply. He can make the food price argument if he really wanted. I don't know how that would work, but is Trump that knowledgeable about it? I don't know.
I don't think Trump is knowledgeable about anything. I think if you're able to fluff up his ego in the right way, he'd be willing to more likely bite than not. But I don't know. I think he's also Putin's bitch. So
Alex Jones clip. Why is he fucking muted? Okay. He's bald. He's incredibly bald now.
Day afternoon, InfoWars, the equipment, Infowars.com, InfoWarsStore.com, and a whole bunch of other stuff is at a federal bankruptcy auction from the fake judgments and the rigged trials where I was found guilty beforehand and they had literal show trials out of the Soviet Union or Nazi Germany. Right when I walked in here during the break after getting a glass of water, saw the auctioneers inside the building going around surveying from the last time they were here to make sure all the stuff's here. Everything tagged, everything marked, this deck.
Base. Do you have any idea what this is? Is this yours, or do you know who might own this thing?
nope.
Is it like a hotspot or
I don't know.
T-Core? Okay.
Do you want to buy one of Alex Jones's shirts?
Yeah. I wonder how much the brand will auction off for.
Somebody
You want to get it?
it?
I think.
You know what the cringiest, corniest, lamest thing in the fucking world would be? And I bet there's a non-zero chance of it happening.
What?
Is fucking Elon Musk going to the auction, buying it, and giving it back to Alex Jones.
Oh, don't even say that. That's so realistic.
Who is Adam Friedland?
I think he's the loser from the Cum Town show that always is in the back of a sound stream being cucked by weird political talk.
Someone named Destiny is apparently taking shots at me in his program. I've never cowered in the face of anti-Semitism before, and there's no way I'll start now. If he wants a debate, I will give him one.
Yeah, I mean, we can have a convo. It's just gonna be, he's just gonna like meme it up the whole time. I can meme it up. Yeah,
He
whatever.
wants to give you one.
What?
He wants to give you one.
Wants to debate.
He wants
No
to.
idea who this guy is.
Dude, is this yours?
Uh,
How does
nope.
every single person leave chargers? I don't know if you guys have, people have an infinite supply of chargers. They just leave it.
I can't tell which one. Who is he? Is he the one who looks like fucking Jeff?
Adam Friedland is he has black hair. He hosts the Adam Friedland show. He's a comedian. Yeah.
Which
The
one?
guy that thinks he can get
He's
pregnant.
the one with the black hair.
This guy.
and
Jeff
glasses.
Goldblum.
That dude, yep.
Okay. The guy from Jurassic Park. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
It only
That I'm not being fucking stupid, am I? Hang on.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
So you're committed to this as well?
You don't think so? What?
I don't think Loner's being stupid about this in specific.
About this? Ooh.
Yeah. There could be other things he's dumb about, but I don't
Jeez.
know.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tried.
Oh. About the debate years ago. Never mind.
Okay. Let's just do it this way, right? This is pretty easy, right? These two were never seen in the same room. Or in the same decade, apparently.
I think Jeff Goldblum's jaw is like more snatched, but it might just be the camera angle.
What do you describe this facial shape? You know, like the guy from Flight the Conchords also has this kind of like long face. What's his name? Is it Jermaine Clement or something? Or is that the other guy?
Are you talking about the oval face, like the more flat one, or the? Because this is literally. I don't want to be rude, but it's kind of like the soy versus Chad.
Jesus. I don't
Google
What?
Flight of the Concords there, Jamie.
Okay, tell me if the chat hates this. I'm gonna start vacuuming over here. Okay.
Google what? Flight of the Concords.
Yeah.
What about it?
Well, you Google it. I have to wait for the stream to catch. Oh, I'm on Kick. That's why this fucking. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, wait. Why?
There's probably more of a delay because if it's not on ultra low latency. Yeah.
Oh my god, it is so much more delayed. That's why everything is so fucking different.
Price of 4K by 60.
Oh my god, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's so delayed. Holy shit. Chat, when I say one, you say one. Ready? One.
That's super loud then over there?
It's fine.
What? What is
They're saying
It's
one.
it's like 10 seconds. That is unacceptable. I can't live like this. I have to, like, I was wondering, like, why am I getting delayed reactions? Holy fucking Christ.
I can barely
Anyways.
hear you, Dan, but I'll try.
Oh, wait. Am I using the wrong? Does this sound better when I do this? Is this better now?
Yeah, much better.
Well, that's because I didn't have the microphone in the right spot the entire time.
You know what? I'm just going to talk. I'm just going to talk
Okay.
into the mic because it's not
Why do
fine. They're saying.
What's not fine?
I don't think they like the sound of the Hoover.
I don't.
Why? Why would you call it a Hoover?
It's a Hoover.
It's a vacuum.
Well, Hoover is a
another word for
popular.
It's like
A
the
vacuum
name
is
of
when
a
you're in
dam.
fucking space and you can't hear yourself.
Dam, you know? Then there's vacuums where you suck in air.
No, a vacuum's in outer space when there's no sound. That's got a lot of sound.
No.
Right. No, I'm not scrolling around Twitter. Hang on. Trump repealing the 22nd Amendment would be Kino.
What does that mean? I see that word everywhere and I haven't Googled it
It's
yet.
like cinema, right? Epic.
It's just like cinema?
Yeah,
Okay.
because Kino's fucking German for cinema.
Okay.
Myron Gaines on the election.
Myron Gaines has a brain dead take about everything.
I want all the liberals to shut the fuck up about Republicans being conspiracy theorists. It's pretty much confirmed that the 2020 election was stolen at this point. The election was the biggest election in decades, but now we're supposed to believe Biden actually won the last election and 10 million people didn't vote. All the Jan 6s have been officially vindicated. Vote 2024. The gap is 3 million. These fucking morons. I don't know why you would. It's really.
Wait, are they for sure pardoning all the J6ers?
I mean, it hasn't done it yet, but
We won't
like-
know till he's in office.
everyone expects them to, right? He calls them fucking heroes and patriots and shit like that. Like he likes them. So I feel like he's quite fond of them. Is the only reason he wouldn't do it just because it would look bad?
I don't think he would care. He thinks that they're vindicated. I mean,
Well,
I think he believes they're vindicated too.
He did that whole fake shit, like, hey, we need to come together now. Obviously, he probably doesn't give a fuck, but I don't know. It might be a little wild if you fucking if he did it. I don't know what the reaction would be from the liberals.
I don't think he at this point cares. Like what's like I'm trying to think about what's gonna happen the next 4 years, right? Either he doesn't run for election again because he can't and he's not gonna try to suspend or do anything shady, which in that case, yeah, he'd want to free his supporters. Or he does try to do all of that shit. But if he does try to do all of that shit, who cares if his supporters are free or not? He is literally, creating like a fascist regime. Like they're like I just don't see any reason for him not to do it because he's gonna get a little like libtards to cry about it. Like, great.
It's like Trump's fascism is a byproduct of his narcissism. It's not a goal of like an ideology. Trump is not ideologically a fascist. He just wants to be an authoritarian. He fancies himself like a benevolent dictator. So like, I don't think that Trump would take steps like some huge ideological step to make the presidency like an authoritarian autocratic dictatorship. He would just try to do things to get more power for himself. There are people that are anti.
I guess I don't understand what would be the like meaningful or significance difference between the two.
The meaningful, significant difference is that if he was truly an autocrat, things like the J6ers, they would have to be pardoned because he's got to show loyalty to his people. But if like enough people tell him behind the scenes, like, hey bro, these people were convicted, like we should probably leave them in jail, like everybody's gonna think it's kind of strange and bad if you release these people, then he'll probably say, oh well, our new DOJ is looking at them and he's assured me that the bad people are behind bars, and he'll go through because he wants to do what makes him popular and loved, not necessarily like he doesn't have an ideological commitment to fascism.
I guess my question is, do you think he's surrounded by yes men or not? Because I would imagine that if he's such a narcissist where his ego is probably extremely fragile and he's like, oh, I think I should pardon the January 6ers, chances are the people he surrounded himself with are not going to tell him, hey, dude, that's cringe. They're going to be like, yes, that's a wonderful idea, Mr. Trump. You're so smart again.
So Trump might be surrounded by... Trump is trying to surround himself with yes men. That's his goal. But the problem is the yes men around Trump are smarter than he is. So if they think it's going to be a bad look, they would probably counsel him like, I don't know if that's a good look, Mr. President, right?
Do you think he would, I guess that's the other thing. Do you think he'd listen to them? Because like the whole idea is like...
It's about if he thinks it would be a good look or not.
Yeah, but the problem is, I would argue that most narcissists...
Is your mic on?
Yep. It is now.
Okay. Wouldn't be like open to the idea of like believing it would be a bad look if he thinks it's good and it's coming.
Yeah, but he's not so retarded that he doesn't know what would look good or not. Like if people are telling him like, bro, this is gonna look really bad, everybody's gonna laugh at you and think you're a retard, he'll probably like, okay, well, I'm not gonna do that. That was supposedly the big turning point in the conversation on January 3rd in the White House office. The thing that scared him the most about making Jeffrey Clark the Attorney General, the acting Attorney General, was when Donahue told him, if you do this, your DOJ is going to be a graveyard. Everybody's going to leave, and that's going to be the legacy of your administration. And it was when all those people had threatened to resign. Like, if Trump was a true fascist, Trump would say, fucking bring it on. I don't care if half my DOJ walks the fuck out of me. My word goes. But it was the fact that he was thinking, like, holy shit, if half my DOJ leaves right as I'm going to leave office, I'm going to look fucking terrible. If Trump was a true fascist, he would have been with them on J6, and he would have had the military with him, and he would have like invaded. But he's too scared, and there's no plausible deniability that he wouldn't do that. He's not that like he doesn't have an ideological commitment to it. He's just a byproduct of his narcissism, which is still really, 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 really fucking bad. But it plays out a bit differently.
Well, then when it came to like the fake electoral plot, do you think he genuinely believed that he won the race?
No, absolutely not.
So I guess my question is, that was still a way of trying to subvert and like overthrow the government, essentially.
Yeah, but why? Because he wants to be the president. That's like the coolest, best position to be in the whole world, is to be the president of the United States. Yeah.
Yeah, but he wants to be the president. Well, yeah, for narcissistic reasons. But what I'm trying to say is that that's a form of fascism. No? Or just not?
It is. I'm just saying it's a byproduct of his narcissism.
Yeah, but I guess... Sorry.
If he was a fascist, I think it would have been, if it was like an ideological commitment to fascism, he would have used the military, or would have been more overt, I think.
So you'd say there's like fascism light, which is a person who's like willing to take fascistic actions for their narcissism, and then like fascism full throttle, where it's just a pure ideological.
It's like political ideology it's hard to map political ideology onto Trump. He's retarded. When Trump was asked how he felt about Western liberalism and its recession from the world stage, he thought they were talking about San Francisco, because the West Coast liberals. He gave that answer in front of the UN. Trump is actually retarded. So it's hard to like map on a coherent political ideology. He's the guy from The Apprentice. His brand is his brand, which is being loved and liked by everybody, and that's all he wants. So he'll do things like it's like a child, like in a... I don't know, it's like a child walking through a building and like ordering a bunch of construction guys to like, make walls in his honor. He doesn't really know what the fuck he's saying or doing, and maybe he does make good decisions, or maybe he does make bad decisions. Some that are in concordance with being a fascist, some that are in discord with being a fascist. But it's not like he doesn't have the mind for it. But people around him do. Like Bannon would want him to be a fascist. Roger Stone would want him to be a fascist, and sometimes he takes advice from those guys. But if there's a decision that he thinks is like truly unpopular, and he really thinks most people look bad at him for it, like Saddam Hussein would just kill those people. Trump would say like, oh, okay, well, we're not going to do that. Let's do something different.
Do you think this means that it's going to be, or we have hope when it comes to the whole idea of passing all those tariffs? Do you think if enough people tell him behind the scenes, don't do it, he'll shy away?
If he gets... Problem is, you also live in a weird world where conservatives like present reality to their fan base, and so they might be able to get away with it. Like, I don't know if Trump says they're going to do tariffs. I don't know if that would make him look bad, because any bad economic fallout, they can just blame on the Democrats somehow or the deep state. And him doing it will probably stir on some local production. Like it would if you do global tariffs. That's what happens.
Like 1 or 2 industries will grow, and that's all he'll talk about.
The what?
1 or 2 industries will grow,
Sure,
and that's all he'll talk about. Yeah.
Maybe a number of local industries. And the economy is strong enough post-Biden that maybe even our economy could handle it. Because remember, when people are looking at things, people think of things as the function, not the derivative. So if they see a positive rate of change, people don't think of like second derivatives, like rate of change of rate of change. If something is increasing by 2%, people will think it's good, even if it could have increased by 10%. They'll just see the 2% increase. They're like, oh, that's good. Same thing if something decreases by 1%, they'll think that's always bad, even if it could have decreased by 10%, right? People don't think in second derivatives. So like the tariff thing, it could go either way. It's really hard to say, but it depends on what people around him are telling him, and it depends on what he thinks is going to make him like popular and make people like him. And then there's a little weird thing because you can manufacture that popularity a bit, but so it makes it complicated, yeah. But it's like, seriously, like try to evaluate anything relating to Trump's like current picks of neocons, right? It totally flies in the face of all the populist fascistic rhetoric. Well, not fascistic, but like the populist rhetoric.
That depends on how much these neocons have changed, though, right?
That is true. Yeah. They might, maybe they're all like falling in line now. And they're like, oh no, we'll do whatever you want, Mr. Trump. But even so, why the fuck would you choose Rubio, lifelong politician, career guy? Why the fuck would you choose Huckabee? Like these are just really, you would have expected to have seen really more bizarre out there picks, not ultra establishment picks.
Where people are expecting more like Tucker Carlson kind of characters or bad.
Yeah, or fucking Candace Owens or Sidney Powell's and Giuliani's and like these like crazy weird people. Yeah.
You think there's going to be any fucking limits this time? Right? Like, I feel like all of them were scared because like a lot of them went to jail, right? Last time. Do you think any of them now are like, oh yeah, if we fuck up, we might go to jail? Or they're like, nah, we're good. We're never going to jail. Life's going to be amazing forever.
He'll probably operate with more. I mean, he operated last time like he couldn't go to jail. And I guess he's right. He's been proved right on that by the American people. So he'll continue to operate that way. Probably one of the scariest things will be him weaponizing the DOJ. But it's also kind of not scary because, again, if it's not like immediately in front of his face, Trump doesn't give a fuck. And Trump is not, Trump is like me when it comes to grudges. Trump is not vindictive. There could be people that he fucking hates, but if they're like not in front of his face, he doesn't give a fuck about it. He didn't go after Hillary Clinton or like go crazy on all that. But if
he forgot. It wasn't relevant at the moment. Yeah. I guess that is a good point, right? Like Trump may be too retarded to remember to like do all the appointments and shit, but he did do a lot of them though.
No, he'll do appointments and stuff, but I don't think he's going to be like, I'm going to go after all these guys that wronged me. He just wants like the applause and the love of the people in front of him.
No, because first term, the reason why a lot of this didn't happen was because the people around him, they'd be given orders and they just like ignore it, and then Trump would forget about it. If he's surrounded now with, but you got to assume that if he gave an order, like, go after so-and-so to one of these new staff picks, whether they would do it or try to ignore it like the previous admin did.
Are you getting progressively further down like a Hamas tunnel? Why is your...
Is my mic bad? Does it not sound good?
It's not tinny.
It's just very tinny, I guess.
Sorry, I left my mic in my office. I can't get it. Curfew. Let me see if I can fix it.
Well, I guess that's okay. Wait, Dan, say something. Is that just Discord or us? Or?
No, it's him. He sounds like shit.
All right, well.
Well, it is. What was the whole thing, by the way, with Elon apparently talking with Putin?
Oh my
like, you're not allowed to.
With all the Logan Act and all that is a meme. Apparently, you can just talk to him and do whatever the fuck you want. We just don't care about those rules or laws anymore, I guess. So I don't know.
That should have been a big deal, right? Like a military contractor talking with another president.
I mean, there's a lot of things. The problem is we're so fatigued by Trump news. Anything he can do that's a big deal is like no one cares anymore. So it's...
that it sounds stupid, but that's what I'm actually most annoyed about what's coming back. You guys, well, not you guys, but the general public, they forgot how fucking annoying it is that every day it's a new fucking crisis that Trump is creating. You can't just exist.
Yeah.
Every day it's the world is collapsing because of something Trump is doing. Every day.
Yep, it'll be that again. But I mean, that's what they like. That's what the Trumples love. So,
this mic probably sucks, but it might. Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say, I'm not sure the general public cares enough anymore. I think maybe the vast majority, or not vast majority, but a significant enough amount of people just care about whether they feel like the economy is good or not, and that's it.
Yeah, the problem is like a lot of political stuff is literally reality TV. It's the West Wing. Like you watch it and it's like interesting and cool, and like the Dodge, the DOJ, and all this stuff is like interesting. But like at the end of the day, you don't really see it personally, so it doesn't even affect your life. So it's just like TV stuff. You're like, oh, okay, cool, that happened today. That's it. Even wars, Americans are the same. Like, oh, that's going on right now, I guess. Okay, cool, that's it.
Yeah.
During the last Trump admin, when a lot of these decisions were being made to not go after Hillary Clinton, not go after these people, I don't think it was necessarily because Trump didn't want to. I think he tried to initiate a lot of these actions. It was the people under him in his administration who either ignored him, blew off the orders, or tried to go a totally different direction. The question I would have is whether these new picks are going to do the same thing or try to find some way to back Trump off. And I don't know if this Fox News host he just made defense secretary or all these picks are going to do that, especially since to a lot of these people, like Trumpism was just reinforced by the fact he was reelected after all of that. Like if there's anything that's been shown is if you get in this guy's good graces, you get political benefit.
Yeah, but I mean, like the question is going to be, what would that do for Trump's popularity? Like, let's say he starts going after some of his political opponents. He goes after them, with the police and shit. Like, people can cope, like Democrats can cope and Republicans can cope and talk about how this election was a fucking landslide, but it wasn't. Our elections are still really close. And the idea of the president actually starting to hardcore go after people with the DOJ and GLM and shit, like he could swing the electorate really hard against him, right? A 1 or 2 point swing makes him completely unelectable. So it's not like if he would have won with like...
Yeah, but he's also not running for re-election though.
Yeah, but I think he cares about his legacy. I really do. I think he does. I think he cares about how he's seen by people. I don't think he's if Trump could choose between locking up every single person that wronged him and having people hate him for it versus being able to stand out on the White House and actually, for real, have the largest ever public gathering in the history of all the United States on the fucking lawn or whatever, he would choose the latter every single time. Even if it meant like holding hands and shaking hands and making out with Hillary Clinton right next to him. I think he would go for that 100%.
I don't know, because like when J6 was happening, he sat on that couch for like 3 hours doing God knows what while he's being informed about what's going on. He can't assume that's going to make him look good, his supporters doing all that damage. And he's watching it happen on TV. It's not like the news commentators were saying, wow, this is a great show of democracy. They were panicking and he didn't do anything.
But there's two things we can look at for that. One is because there was still a real path to him being the president. He was hoping that there would be enough of a delay and there was enough pressure that he literally could get people to flip on that electoral vote and he could actually remain in office. So one is that, and then two, you can look at the text messages that people closest to him were sending. What was his son, Donald Trump Jr., sending to Mark Meadows? He wasn't saying things like, he has an obligation as the president, he needs to do this. They were saying things like, Mark Meadows, you got to go to the floor on this. They're going to fuck his legacy up, right? They were saying that it's going to make you look horrible. Everyone's going to remember you as a terrible these were the things that the people closest to him were saying to Mark Meadows via text message to try to get Mark Meadows to change his mind. So I could be totally wrong on all this. It's just like my read of it.
It's what Bill Barr said in the interview about January 6th. He always said that the way that he could get Trump to do anything was to convince Trump that it wasn't in his interest. If it was bad for his personal interest, then that's what would get him to change his mind on anything.
Maybe I'm wrong.
He just nominated neocons. I didn't predict that at all. I had no idea. I also thought Israel would get destroyed by Hezbollah if they fought him directly. What the fuck do I know? Who knows?
Do you think it's
paper tiger of Hezbollah? Oh no.
Do you think it's possible there'll be in 4 years a fair election?
Like I said, I think that the election system in the U.S. is just too big to rig. We can't. There's too many paper ballots, too many individual counties. We're just way too decentralized to actually rig an election. I don't think we can do it. Even if somebody wanted to, I don't think so.
I mean,
all of his like election stealing plans were based in like calling the vote really, really, really early. It was never like we're gonna go in here and hack this and hack that. It was always grabbing the perception early on and then like submitting legal challenges.
I guess the idea is, haven't these guys said that technically states don't have to like count your votes or something? They can just like send their own whatever.
Yeah, that was the goal, like a top down, like a big plan like that. But I don't think it would be really, you'd have to get all your state legislatures on board with that. And you'd have to have a majority that would support that. And I don't know, that's a big meme if they were to do that. I think that people would like fucking revolt. It would not be good.
I don't know. I think I really do think that he might try to suspend the election, but I don't know how that would be. Well, I'm thinking, okay, the court ruling that basically said the president can do whatever he wants. He's technically immune, especially if it's a matter of presidential matters or whatever. And then I'm thinking that combine that with some sort of like national emergency. It doesn't matter if it's real or made up or whatever. But I don't know. That's me going full doomer mode. That's me going full, like, he wants to stay president no matter what and was willing to do whatever to get there.
I think if he was younger, I think I would definitely be more concerned with that. But another reality, too, is Trump is older and he feels
and fast
and acts like way older. Like there is a huge difference between him now and him campaigning in 2016. I would say almost as big a difference as there is between Biden and him. It's like stark. None of the conservatives will acknowledge it, but it's a lot different. So would he actually try to run again in 4 years? I don't know, man. He's getting old. I'm not sure.
He'd be 82, and then he'd be ending his administration at 86. I mean, he's doing like 1/3 the amount of rallies he used to. He couldn't do it. I don't believe it.
I feel like it's more of a matter of like, do you think, I guess you guys don't think he would want to, but I feel like if somebody's like that narcissistic and egotistical, they're not going to let go of power unless if you like literally tear it from their bare hands. Like it doesn't matter if they're going like dementia, deranged, whatever. The chances of them just willingly giving it up just because they're old, I don't know if that's likely, but I might be wrong. Who knows?
I mean, if he does care about legacy, someone could always argue to him, well, if you give it to Vance or give it to one of his, like kids or whatever, that you're continuing your legacy and et cetera, if the legacy thing really does matter to him. But the thing that scares me about that, though, is all it would take then is somebody who's really convincing, slick in his immediate circle, be it a Vivek, be it a Tucker, whoever, to convince him that going after so-and-so or rejecting the Democratic election because they saw some bullshit on Twitter, Elon, that they actually have to go out and challenge the vote and do this and do that. So I wonder.
That's why the Schedule F shit is so scary, is because if he's like Donald Trump surrounded by the wrong people or the right people, depending on how you view it, would be a full-on fascist dictator. Yeah, 1,000,000,000%. Absolutely. That would be scary, yeah. Okay. Tom.
I think even if Trump is on his way out and he either gets too old or dies or whatever, like the Republicans probably would want a Trump to follow him. Like after Trumpism.
I don't think they like Trump.
Republicans don't like Trump.
Nobody can out-Trump Trump. Nobody can Trump Trump. Carrie Lake got smashed in Arizona. Well, actually, no, she didn't. But the polling numbers said she was going to get smashed. But she still lost when Trump won. There were people who voted for Trump and just decided to leave that blank.
Wait,
I think Trump is still underperforming in his down ballot races too, right? Like Kamala, there are people.
Yeah, but not because Trump supporters are only there for Trump. Like they
yeah, but like, he underperformed in the 2022 elections, right? So Trump candidates don't do as well as Trump does. Even though a lot of the party seems to be kind of switching more MAGA, like he does have an issue winning elections that aren't his.
Yeah, but that's why I wouldn't find it hard to believe if Trump goes away, then the only person who could replace him for the Republicans would just be another Trump, like one of his kids. Or something.
Yeah, but when you say another Trump, it's not just one of his kids. Trump Jr. is not Trump.
No, he's not. Close. That's the one thing, is that none of his kids are actually like anything like him, really, or
no
would fill the same role easily. We've already done the Alex Jones thing, but yeah, because of the neocon picks, even though some of the neocons have waddled a bit into more of an America first and no more endless wars thing. But yeah, Alex Jones is really upset.
Oh, Candace Owens is too.
She thinks that Trump's being manipulated by deep state infiltrators.
That warms my heart.
They can never blame Trump, can they? It's always, it's somebody else puppeteering. And if he's getting puppeteered every time, how can you trust him with the highest office? I mean, if your whole idea is there's a deep state and they're controlling everything and they're controlling everyone, and every time you put him up there to tear it up, he gets controlled by the deep state. Like, what's your pitch for using him as a machine against it?
Yeah, no, I don't think they see it that way, which is sad. I'm like 99% sure all these like crazy wackos on the right thought that this was going to be finally their meal to get in to like positions of power. And now that they're not getting that, they're just throwing the giant, biggest fucking temper tantrums.
Is that what this is? Is like Alex Jones upset because he thought he was going to get a cabinet position? Or
honestly, I think what is it? Candace Owens was talking about Alex Jones becoming secretary, like press secretary, essentially.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like any of that's going to happen now.
Press secretary.
I thought they were going to pick Ramaswamy for that. I thought he would have been the perfect person to annoy America.
He didn't want what?
Ramaswamy, Vivek. He would have been perfect for press secretary.
I I can't hear you. I'm so sorry. The fucking vacuum is.
And your she, Mike Dillon.
Ooh.
Well, it is what it is.
Oh, another Dave Smith. Marco Rubio is a disaster. Might as well give Liz Cheney the State Department awful sign. He's the most tone-deaf fucking person. Like this guy who had like a really the pro-Gaza guy going for Trump, like of all things. Fucking hell.
What I think is like super funny is that they're acting like this is the end of the world. This is so bad that Trump is giving it to the neocons. As like his fans honestly give a shit. I don't think they give a shit. I think so many of his fans are just like straight into the Trump cult where it doesn't matter what Trump does for a large part of it. They're still like my hero, my savior, my man. But who knows?
I absolutely despise Dave Smith. He's just, I don't know what it is, but there's just something about him that just triggers me in like all the right ways. Do I trust this person? Caitlin Collins. After meeting with several candidates at Mar-a-Lago, Trump is still wrestling with his pick for Attorney General. He solicited the opinions of those in his inner circle, made phone calls, and met with at least one candidate today. But he's yet to come to a decision, mainly because no one he's encountered has checked all of the boxes he's looking for. He has no favorites, I'm told. No final decision on his Attorney General. Apparently no candidate is checking all the boxes.
That's going to be an important pick.
Yep, especially because Trump's a criminal. Ooh. If you're Israel, do you just want allies who agree with short-term goals and ignore the long-term consequences? If you're an American citizen, do you want your representatives advocating for the interests of a foreign ally? I'm probably the wrong person to ask because I don't even think the average Israeli is Zionist enough. I can address the other concerns you raised, though I don't expect to be able to do that justice in a tweet. Is Avi like does he support? I've never actually heard his. No, I thought he was a two-stayer.
Who?
Avi, but I don't know if he is. Avi.
Oh.
Dr. Avi.
I'm worried he might be unhinged on Israel. I'm not sure. I thought I'd seen this in chat said a lot, but I don't know if it's true because I haven't verified it. But people in chat were saying that he actually supported Trump for Israel.
Oh my God.
There was something he said on Twitter that he said Trump would be better for Israel than Harris or Biden. I think that's what he said, wasn't it? If anyone has the tweet, they can get it. But I don't know if that's true because it is just, to me, I just see it as short-term goals.
It depends a lot, I guess, on what you view of the long term.
Well, it's also the fact that it does make me wonder if Israel just kept on going further with the West Bank, like with the rest of the Middle East, would any country that's like not already fighting with Israel start to fight with Israel over that?
That's the question from the Israeli perspective.
I don't think Jordan would do anything. Egypt, no.
Egypt. It would probably come down also like to the citizens as well. Like if the citizens started to like fucking rebel, right? Then maybe would they? I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know like what the average Arab thinks of the average like Persian and Turkmen and all that. I'm not sure.
The issue would more be trying to set up like a new reality without Palestinians getting voting rights. That would be the difficult thing for them to manage. Because if it starts to become much more like just one state rather than an occupation, and
the goal for Israel is you move your rabid Zionists into the settlements,
Mhm.
you have them breed like crazy,
Yeah.
and then as they have enough children and as you have a solid demographic majority, you just slowly annex the places that even if you give them a vote, you can still have a big control over. That's what they've been doing, and that's what they'll continue to try to do, basically.
I don't think there's any plan to give millions of Palestinians the vote, even if they outbreed them or whatever.
Right?
It's a very difficult one, and yeah, I can see why most people don't get it or don't go for it.
Thought that they could annex large swaths of land,
Mhm.
and then giving voting rights to Arabs, they would 1,000,000% they would do it. If they could officially annex it and have it like recognized.
But you're changing your demographics from 20% Arab to 40 or 45.
They would,
Because
I think it's keep it below 40. I think maybe they'd be okay with it. Yeah.
because right now there are slightly more Arabs than Jews from the rivers of the sea. Yeah.
The rivers.
Yeah, that's the geography. The Trump administration is quite unironically shaping. Oh yeah, I thought he said something else about I'm pretty sure he does think that Trump would be better for Israel than Biden-Harris.
Oh, sorry. Fuck, my mic was off. My bad. Yeah. I mean, like, that's probably a world, as much as I hate to say it, reasonable minds could probably disagree. It depends on what you think is the best future for Israel. I don't think the claim would be that Trump has some grand strategic mind or design for Israel. It would just be that he's like enough of like a blatant Israeli simp, and that would be more beneficial to Harris, more beneficial to Israel than anybody that would try to restrain them in any way. So
yeah, but then I guess the price you pay is that you're supporting a government right now that's just becoming increasingly less interested in the will of the population, or at least less not willing to hear any pushback.
Yeah, possibly, but man, I don't know if they have elections that are coming up that they have to do, but if you're Netanyahu, you've got to be feeling pretty good. Like, they had a huge string of military successes over the past few months. All three top leadership of Hamas dead, Hania, Sinwar, Mohammed Deif, all dead. The huge Hezbollah operation was almost undeniably a success. They captured 600 more Hamas people in northern Gaza. They were able to fend off all the missile attacks from Iran, more or less. Like, you got to be feeling militarily pretty on top of the fucking world right now. So
actually, in October 7th this year, I think Netanyahu, 47% of Israelis said that he was best suited for prime minister.
Oh, yeah, shit.
Compared to 34 for his opposition leader, Yair Lapid.
Yeah, so I mean, it was just so many military successes, like, all in a row. Yeah.
Fucked up, man. I mean, I can see it working for them in a very cold, like, material gain sense. It's just whether or not you find it ethical or not to pursue that.
Do you think he's going to go to jail after?
Netanyahu?
Yeah.
I don't know enough about what he's being accused
General
of.
consensus is that he will. He's already tried to delay his court proceedings.
That doesn't look as blue as it does in real life, right?
Yeah, real life, that looks a lot bluer.
Seeks to delay taking the stand, citing lack of time to prepare because of the war. Right? This is a day ago. I know it's corruption charges, but I don't actually know what exactly it involved. Israelis hate Lapid, compare him to Gantz. I don't know why that poll didn't compare him to Gantz, though. Does this one? I don't know. Whatever.
Tell me what looks okay.
Yeah, I'm looking.
What do you see right now?
The light.
Oh, yeah, okay. Tell me if this looks more blue. That or that? Does it change at all?
This one's more blue.
Okay, so extended
Wait,
video.
this one's.
Okay, this is like very not.
Nope, not at all. Bad.
Okay. And if I do, fuck, what is the what button? Nope. Nope.
Oh my god.
Can't stand trial because the court doesn't have a safe room or a bomb shelter. Okay.
Wait, when I do this, does it affect what's on screen? No.
No. Oh, you just moved the camera.
Same thing with that, no, right?
No, just the camera position.
And same thing with that, no. Okay.
Yeah, it looks super washed out right now.
Damn, his home actually did get a bit scuffled by that drone attack.
Whose home is that?
Netanyahu's.
Oh.
A Hezbollah drone actually managed to make it to his house in Caesarea. Is it Caesarea? Because it's sometimes called the Q.
Looks dark. It's like...
This was the first village that was expelled in the 48 war.
Mm.
It was an exceptional one because most of them happened afterwards. Ironic.
Isn't it ironic?
Was it really that exceptional, though?
Well, it was the only one in February. The other ones didn't come until like mid-March. So yeah, it was exceptional for that period. Briefly.
I think you got to get brighter lighting or something because the shadows are just so dark.
Wait.
Holy.
I feel like I'm in a, what is it, like a drug dealer movie or something.
It's dramatic. It's a nighttime show. Okay.
No, but
That's okay. Why is it dramatic?
because the shadows are just so like.
Oh.
I feel like I'm about to start talking about, like, I don't know, somebody who died or something. Or a drug deal that's about to go down. You know, I just sell a lot of coke to Mexico these days. Wait, no, it's the other way around. Mexico sells a lot of coke.
That's just all the caffeine. It's getting too excitable.
Yeah, I'm talking about Coca-Cola. I would never do anything else.
Oh yeah, did we talk about the bad empanada amplification?
Amplification by Hassan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I covered it today. Yeah.
Oh. Pretty wacky.
Pretty wacky. Again, that's the standard, though. Like, they make a claim about like a Israeli war crime that you're still needing more information on, and that's like a fucking red line has been crossed and you're cast aside. But if you celebrate October 7th and you wish it happened every day, then that's fucking fair game. Come on in. Let's watch your videos on stream uncritically.
Here's a question. Has Hassan ever disavowed anyone on the left or to his left?
Hassan will say, I don't really agree with everything they say, but, you know, they make good like that. That's what he'll say, yeah. But he'll never actually offer any substantial pushback, yeah. Compared to the fucking browbeating that he does to everyone who...
Do you feel like the shadows on Nassif are okay, or do you feel like that's too dramatic?
No, the shadows on him are fine. I think maybe it's because of the background colors too that make it like more shadowy.
You just mind fucked me. Fuck.
What? I mean, I think I'm being accurate. I think the blues and purples are making it look more shadowy.
Stephen Miller's deportation plans. Stephen Miller, Trump's top immigration advisor, has publicly declared that they would pursue such an enormous effort partly by creating a private red state army under the president's command. Miller says a re-elected Trump intends to requisition National Guard troops from sympathetic Republican-controlled states and then deploy them into Democrat-run states whose governors refuse to cooperate with their deportation drive. Such deployment of red state forces into blue states over the objections of their mayors and governors would likely spark intense public protest and possibly even conflict with law enforcement agencies under local control.
Based? Hello?
Based?
Based? Hello? Can we get the based alert going off here? Excuse me.
And
What happened
there? Is his current immigration advisor.
He's more than that now, isn't he? Didn't he get a cabinet role? Which one did he get? Miller role. Deputy Chief of Staff for the White House.
Oh my God.
Wait, that's as expected. What actually happened?
What?
Why is there nothing today?
To that.
Sorry.
Ooh, she hit you with the big misspeak, my friend.
Deputy Chief of Chief of Policy, is that the same as Deputy Chief of Staff of the White House? Oh, it is, isn't it?
Is it? I don't think so. I think wasn't his chief staffer or whatever now a woman? Like it was making news.
That's the Chief of Staff, the White House Chief of Staff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a woman. First woman to fill the role, actually.
Yeah.
So you should be grateful.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, this is Deputy Chief of Policy. So yeah. But I thought, is Chief of Policy, is that synonymous with the Deputy Chief of Staff of the White House, or are these different?
I actually have no idea what that role is. Chief of Policy?
Deputy, okay, let's say Chief of Staff.
Chief of Staff is your top of basically the White House office. So your Mark Meadows was your last Chief of Staff. This is the guy that communicates between the president and all of his staff, basically.
Okay.
Susie Wiles is the current pick.
Yeah, but so they're not the same.
But is
Chief of Policy sounds like it could be an advisory role in the White House or something, and the White House staff maybe.
Yeah, I don't think these are synonymous. Okay. So he's the Deputy Chief of Policy. Okay. Yeah, he sounds like a bad dude.
Wants to create a private red army. That is.
I mean, I saw the fucking speech that he gave at one of those rallies. It was so grim.
Who?
This guy, Stephen Miller.
Oh, that guy is pretty fucking crazy.
He's the one that you think is full on fascist ideologically.
I don't know. He just seems fucking retarded, but he might be. I haven't heard him speak enough though to have a strong opinion about him. I'm killing this screen, so
that's okay. Ooh.
So
Apparently, I need to see what was a new video on Hassan's main channel. Why? Why? Hassan Abi?
is there ever a future where you think?
Oh
you
my
guys-
god, he did another one.
Hell yeah.
The
Biggest-
biggest genocide defenders on the internet.
Yes.
Really, the biggest ones. Why does he look like an old man here? What the fuck? Is that... Has he been made to look like an old man?
Who, Hassan?
Or is this just like a bad angle for him?
Or me?
No, Hassan. In this thumbnail.
He's a wacky dude, you know?
This is it's such a retarded video. It's unbelievable.
You would call it retarded, wouldn't you?
Yep.
Because you're hiding from the truth, Mr. Genocide?
True. Okay, fuck that.
Trump's America.
All right, we need the chat.
Are you serious? Why is the TV doing that? Can you change the frame rate on the...
On the what?
I wonder if that's the TV frame rate or the camera frame rate. Don't worry about it.
So you just has to change it.
Twitch clips. Ooh.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask, do you see any future where you guys
They're gonna
join
Sorry.
Hassan on anything at all?
Join Hassan on anything.
If he was like, I wanna this candidate canvas with them or something. And then they're a good
Dude, if he wants to come to Ukraine tomorrow, I'll buy him the ticket. We'll go straight to Pokrovsk. I'd have a great time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if
Wait,
he wants to
until
come to if you wanted to come to Israel, why not? Like take him around
Full on apologize or acknowledge like everything that he's done. Same thing with Vosh. Same deal.
I feel like Hassan's got a much longer list though. Bro, he spent the last fucking year supporting like some of the biggest Arab killers in the region. Like nah.
True.
Tyrants, imperialists. What is it with this Ottoman colonizer just constantly supporting people expanding their imperial interest in the Middle East? What's this?
They're gonna start doing this to China too. Fuck it, add Haiti on there too. I just want you to understand, by the way, when Asmongold is making threats like this is the result. Okay? When you partner up with cynical fucking assholes who just simply want to see the fuck.
Why? What's happening to the? It's either the clipping or the gate on his microphone. Why is it doing that?
What do you
Or
mean?
this,
Play it
or it sounds like a digital sound actually, maybe like software.
Play it again.
They're gonna start doing this to China too. Fuck it, add Haiti on there too.
What do you mean?
Here,
I just want you to understand, by the way, when
that sudden. I just want to like. There's a pop
Oh,
there.
it's a really aggressive noise gate.
Yeah, what the
really
fuck?
aggressive attack.
Why?
Asmongold is making threats like this is the result.
This is the result.
When you partner up with cynical fucking assholes who just simply want to see the fucking world burn, and they force platforms who are terrified of offending anyone, okay, even if their purpose is utterly and so clearly to troll, okay, platforms that turn around and capitulate and cave against that sort of thing are gonna hurt other content creators, you know? This is the list of OFAC countries that you can and can't target to. They're gonna start doing this to
I
China.
don't why
I don't know why someone sent me that. That was a really boring clip. Thank you.
Owned. Guys, is there really no way to change the refresh rate of this TV? Is it impossible? Do I need to go look up the fucking manual?
Genuine question about Hassan. When he starts talking about these wars, and he starts talking about these, doing the weapons identification on stream and all of this. Why not just? I mean, he's like gigantic. Couldn't he just like? I want to have somebody on here with military experience to do this quick. Like he's live like all the time, but I'm sure he has the contacts to do it.
Propaganda.
Why bother like shooting from the hip?
It's propaganda. It's not supposed to be accurate. It's just supposed to like feed into the narrative. That's all that matters.
Like he does get all the high profile, like far left partisan, like shithead journalists to do his stuff. So he talks to them all the time. That's his expert opinion. His expert opinion is like Ryan Grimm, right?
Very grim.
Yeah. How does that make you feel, Dylan?
Bleak.
Remember when you said that hitting the curse bridge was like it was an obscene war crime?
Terrorist attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, bridges are like protected by law, actually.
We don't have an issue. We don't have an issue with Hezbollah, Dylan. How do you feel about that as someone who studies the Syrian civil war?
Oh, well, I mean, if there's anything the Palestinian people needed, it was for their refugee camps to be starved by the Assad regime.
Yeah. But weren't they only fighting ISIS? Weren't their enemies only ISIS and Al-Qaeda?
The funny thing is, the Assad regime and Hezbollah did the least fighting against ISIS of probably all the factions in the Syrian civil war.
You mean they just left that? You mean the fucking ISIS headquarters that was conspicuously fucking available to every intel group in the world was just left there when they were bombing every other city? They just left that one for no fucking reason in Raqqa? Yeah, did they do that? Why?
Yeah, the Assad regime abandoned all of the east of the country, and that's why the YPG was really a thing and could take all that power, and they were the ones fighting ISIS, is because the Assad regime abandoned all of that part of the country to defend, Assad's strong points, where he had the most political support and where, the population supported him.
Wasn't it crazy during the initial protests against Assad in the Arab Spring when Assad just passed that decree which released a bunch of prisoners whilst he was constantly jailing protesters for arbitrary fucking reasons? Meanwhile, he put out an amnesty decree, released a bunch of prisoners, some of whom actually ended up becoming leaders of ISIS.
Cringe.
Yeah, he poisoned the opposition movement with terrorists. I mean, he wasn't the only one, of course, but he certainly didn't help.
Wasn't it crazy where they were like the only people who were still allowing fucking ISIS to use their banking system? Everyone else in the world had put in sanctions and tried to disconnect them from the international banking system, but Syria was just like, yeah, just keep on doing it. Actually, let's trade. Let's buy your oil and let's trade in grain and wheat as well.
I believe if you look at the casualty data of the war, the Assad regime, I believe, killed more people than any other faction by a factor of 2 or 3. It's not even close.
I like it when they were basically murdering or capturing all their opponents when they would defeat opposition fighters, but when they defeated ISIS, they let a bunch of the surviving fighters, evacuate so they could go to another side of the country and fight with rebels. And Hezbollah called it a victory against Israel. Sorry, Nasrallah's a fucking cunt anyway. Does
that still look as dramatic to you, Pixie?
It looks, I think, a little bit better.
She's trolling me.
I'm not trolling. It might just because of the TV
No, it's okay.
stunt.
I understand. I deserve it.
Remember when Hezbollah created this huge Syrian refugee crisis in Lebanon and then a couple of their higher up members started sex trafficking in Syrian refugees?
Man. Nasrallah dying only reminded me of one thing, and that's Assad is still alive.
Yeah. Nasrallah is very dead. He got no chance.
Pushing poppies.
There's no way he's getting out of this pickle. All right, what's this?
But you can be wrong literally every single day. You can be wrong every single day. And you will not get punished for it at all. I'm shocked.
That's a JDAM.
My lack of interest in covering the dumb shit that this loser has been saying is bad. It's bad. It's a mistake, I think.
This is the JDAM guy, right?
Yeah, this is the JDAM guy.
I'm glad that Ben Empanada has taken on the task. They weren't all with it, right? But it says mostly correct.
Thank God we have a good, responsible voice.
Thank God.
A good, honest a good, honest representation.
Do you think he knows that Bad Empanada is being a Weasley little liar, dude?
He literally fucking DM'd me about this shit in the past. I explained to him that Bad Empanada was like lying about my dad being a fucking war criminal. Hassan acknowledged it. And when his chat used to tell him that last year, Hassan would be like, come on, that's crazy. What the fuck are you talking about? But now I think he would just probably let them say it and not acknowledge it. Listen, Hassan needs friends though, you know? He needs someone who's a little bit more intelligent than him to handle this kind of shit.
Fuck, I think... Nassif, you might just be really white. Does this look better? What do you think?
Yeah, I think that looks better.
I am quite
Okay,
white.
but now... Oh, no, you look okay.
S tier Marco Rubio meme.
On foreign policy,
These fucking layouts look so funny. Why does it look like he's trying to... It looks like this was filmed in 1970. With
Wait,
this lighting.
have you seen Chris Christie torpedoing this dude's whole career?
No.
Oh my God.
Chris Christie's the Republican who just hates Republicans.
Chris Christie
Like,
is the torpedo. He's the guy who goes after people. You need to...
Oh, sorry. This person as well addressed sniping Palestinian children. I'm sorry. You can read that New York Times article. It doesn't... None of the doctors said that these kids were all definitely sniped, you fucking idiot.
That's true, however.
Yeah.
You're going to need to look at the Rubio Chris Christie clip.
Okay.
That'll be our clip of the night.
Oh,
okay?
I keep ban this person.
Just a
I'll give him a perm ban. Whoa. All right.
Slow down there, Dan, in forethought.
Okay, first of all, I'm going to watch this because it's
foreign policy, America continues to be indispensable to the global liberty,
You done with this?
property, and safeguarding human rights.
Thank you.
The world is a better place when America is the strongest nation on earth. But we can't remain powerful if we don't have an economy that can afford it. In the short time that I've been here in Washington, nothing has frustrated me more than false choices like the one the president laid out tonight.
I like the fact that this has 1.9
The
million.
choice isn't just between big government or big business. What we need is an accountable, efficient, and effective government that allows small and new businesses to create more middle-class jobs.
wow. Okay, Chris Christie, Marco Rubio.
That's iconic for Marco. I love that for him.
Yeah.
This is a video where he takes a little water break.
Chris Christie takes down Marco. I feel like all I ever see of Chris Christie is him shitting on other Republicans.
Yeah.
He's like the Republican who hates Republicans. I identify with him.
It's 2 days until the New Hampshire primary. A new poll shows Donald Trump continues to dominate among Republican voters in New Hampshire. That poll also shows that there is no clear candidate when it comes to second place. 4 candidates are in a virtual tie.
Hey?
I hope he doesn't win.
Fine, give us the
John
Rubio.
Kasich, Marco Rubio, Jeb Bush, and Ted Cruz are battling it out to be the runner-up.
Here it
And
comes.
last night in the final division of the
loading.
New Hampshire primary,
Wait,
the
who's loading?
candidates took their
Christie.
fight to
He's
the
loading up.
stage.
I like Marco Rubio, and he's a smart person and a good guy. But he's
This isn't it.
Fuck.
Is it?
It's got a million views.
I
man.
need the full. Is this the full thing? It's brutal. Okay, we'll let this play. It better. I bet this better be all of it.
simply does not have the experience to be president of the United States and make these decisions. We've watched it happen, everybody. For the last 7 years, the people of New Hampshire are smart. Do not make the same mistake again.
I think the experience is not just what you did, but how it worked out. Under Chris Christie's governorship of New Jersey, they've been downgraded 9 times in their credit rating. This country already has a debt problem. We don't need to add to it by electing someone who has experience at running up and destroying the credit rating of his state. But I would add this. Let's dispel with this fiction that Barack Obama doesn't know what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing. He is trying to change this country. He wants America to become more like the rest of the world. We don't want to be like the rest of the world. We want to be the United States of America. And when I'm elected president, this will become once again the single greatest nation in the history of the world, not the disaster Barack Obama has imposed upon us.
You see, everybody, I want the people at home to think about this. That's what Washington, D.C. does. The drive-by shot at the beginning with incorrect and incomplete information, and then the memorized 25-second speech that is exactly what his advisors gave.
Is this the right one?
See, Marco, the thing is this. When you're president of the United States, when you're a governor of a state, The memorized 30-second speech where you talk about how great America is at the end of it doesn't solve one problem for one person. They expect you to plow the snow. They expect you to get the schools open. And when the worst natural disaster in your state's history hits you, they expect you to rebuild their state, which is what I've done. None of that stuff happens on the floor of the United States Senate. It's a fine job. I'm glad you ran for it, but it does not prepare you for president of the United States.
Chris, your state got hit by a massive snowstorm 2 weeks ago. You didn't even want to go back. They had to shame you into going back. And then you stayed there for 36 hours, and then he left and came back to campaign.
See,
those are the facts. Here's the bottom line. This notion that Barack Obama doesn't know what he's doing is just not.
There it is.
He knows exactly
there it is.
what he's
The memorized 25-second speech.
Well, that's
there it is, everybody. You know what the shame is, Marco? The shame is that you would actually criticize somebody for showing up to work, plowing the streets, getting the trains run back on time, when you've never been responsible for that in your entire life.
Okay.
And
you didn't want to go back.
And the fact is, I went back, it got done, and here's
didn't want to go back.
I went back. Oh, so wait a second. Is that one of the skills you get as a United States Senator, ESP also?
I don't think you weren't going to go back.
The fact is, Marco,
he told everyone he wasn't going to go back. They had to shame him into going back.
Marco,
and then when he decided to go back, he criticized the young lady, saying, "What am I supposed to do, go back with a mop?"
By the way,
clean up the flood.
It gets very unruly when he gets off his talk.
Thank you, Governor.
Was this it?
I don't think so.
Okay, wait, doesn't that happen? Doesn't that happen 3 or 4 times? Am I crazy, guys?
What?
Where he does that speech about Obama, and I thought Christie called it out like 3 times.
Yeah, he did.
Well, but here he only did it like once or twice. Just it was funnier in my head. Okay. What is this? Is that the first one we watched?
Is it Rubio Christie? This one?
Is the first one we watched?
Yeah.
I like the fact that he's pointing out that Rubio doesn't have enough experience, then like Trump wins.
Marco Rubio is the boy in the
No,
bubble.
it would have been. It was on the debate. Listen, just trust me, okay? Just laugh in your head, okay? Okay. Do you have any final closing thoughts for your viewers too?
See you guys tomorrow.
That's a final thought. You don't.
Yes.
Where are you going to see them tomorrow at?
Probably on the Loner Box live stream.
At Loner Box Live.
Yeah.